Showtime. Hey, NDI's
All
working.
right, let's get started.
All right, I'm moving stuff around over here on the system. Hey there, Larry. We got it working.
Yes,
We got
awesome.
it working. We may not have a screen to share, but that's all right. I think you gave me some links that we're going to play with. So the Cloud Talk Show is back, and yes, we're back in black. Hey, let's go see if we have your this is the share screen is on the back end over here, and I'm just going to go and actually I am sharing a screen to you right now, but you're the big window over here because I'm not really
Yes,
sharing anything of
I'm
any use.
right. I see myself,
Yes,
and it's really, that
that
echo.
echo. No, that's no good.
It's
All
okay.
right, so I'm
It's not an audio. It's that visual kind of.
all
Yeah,
right. So
it's
the only
okay.
reason why I
It's all
wanted to
good.
see this is I wanted to see on Teams meetings you have some links over here that I'm gonna click on and just get to.
Yeah,
Let's see. Today is Larry brings some links. Today's
Larry
episode,
brings
Larry
some
brings some
links.
links.
Yes.
All right. Here's the first one. Ta-da-da-da.
So this first one is a group of people that really are talking about the future of the cloud. So the idea is cloud 2030. What is the cloud going to look like in 10 years? Well, it started last year, right? So we were kind of looking ahead, and I'm mainly a lurker,
Mm-hmm.
but we've had some really good discussions on different things. It's really focused more on infrastructure,
Right.
the infrastructure of the cloud, and networking, um, data at truly epic scales,
Holy smokes.
and the way that you have to deal with it. So, a lot of good topics. The last one we did was on. We talked this week on um, DevOps
Wow.
and
Oh, wait a minute. Oh, sorry, Larry. I correct you.
yeah,
DevSecOps.
DevSecOps. Well, but see,
Oh, you skipped the
it
security part.
yeah, we
Gasp.
skipped that. Yeah, but the problem is that when we talk about DevOps, we never really talk about infrastructure, and it's very seldom that you see a project that starts their DevOps pipe infrastructure as code or IAC,
True.
and it's it it changes the conversation when you do that. And I'm
Indeed.
working on a new project, and hopefully we're going to be doing that. But it's going to be one of those things that we add in sprint 6 or 7,
Mm-hmm.
not in sprint 0.
Oh dear.
So
Do you think that I've been on the feeling like sprint zero is when we should start doing it. I tried to do that at the last big client that we sort of shared back in the day, and actually it was a good idea because by the time they got released, the infrastructure was there. And you're right, the conversation is completely different when you have that already done. When you have to, like, as they say, cajole it in later on, it's like a battle, right?
well, and when somebody comes and says, because they always do,
Yep.
hey, I need a demo site for this client, and you have to take your DevOps people
Mm-hmm.
offline, build out the infrastructure
Oh man.
for a week,
Or two.
instead of just pushing a button and standing up a full environment with everything there. So it makes a lot of sense. It's a reasonable investment to make at the beginning of a project, especially if you have the opportunity to do it,
Mm-hmm.
right? If you're starting really truly greenfield and
Right.
not some brownfield stuff, it's always, I think, worth investing early.
True enough. I mean, the same thing.
As a
All of the things
consultant,
have to
I
be
don't
there.
always win.
Oh yeah. I mean, the thing is, they think of the priorities like, well, let's just get it stood up so it's going. It's like, well, at the very least, you'd think that folks, and then you say, hey, it can't be that hard. Didn't you document your steps as you walked along? And then you have that blank stare, like, well, yeah. And then you look at it, there's like 5 steps. And it's like, wait a minute, it couldn't have been 5 steps. You've been working on that thing for 3 hours. How is 5 steps 3 hours worth of work? Unless you say, I did step 2 and then I did this, twiddled my thumbs for 2 hours and waited. And then usually, no, they're not going to twiddle. They're going to do something in the meantime. Those 5 steps sometimes are too general or too generic, or it includes filling out this form of these 5 things. And sometimes it's like a trial and error. Oh, whoops, that's not right. Fat fingered, change it. Oh, by the way, you forgot. Don't forget to have the certificate ready to go. And oh, I forgot to put that as a step because step one assumed that you had the certificate ready, you had
Right.
this ready, and all that stuff. Not
And it
not saying,
matters.
yeah, it matters exactly.
It honestly, a lot of the problems of the past, and they should be problems of the past at this point. Okay. But I've had problems with one server out of five that didn't work correctly.
Aha.
Right.
Yep.
And it was a load balance, and there was one server that wasn't working correctly, and it wasn't working correctly because the, as you say, the certificate wasn't installed. Well, so it built its own certificate, and then we installed the new certificate on top of it,
Uh-huh.
but it wasn't always used. I mean, it's one of those things that
You don't know,
if you
and
build it by hand, they're not identical.
that's right. And you forget, and these are things that are easy to forget that you did it and no one remembered, and then you were working on it. Well, I've been updating it for crazy, and I've never had a problem until today. And then someone tells you it's certificate. Hey, it can't be a certificate. Those are all up. Oh, that's right. It's not up to date. It's the wrong one. That's my favorite, though. You notice I brought up certificate not because we've ourselves have run into the issue just for our website sometimes, but frankly, that is one of the most common ones that I've seen maybe in the last 4 years. If there's a problem,
Right.
it's a freaking all those big Azure problems where M365 or something goes down, Google goes down or something big. Guess what? Some certificate, right? It's like
Right.
the simplest, easiest, sounds like the simplest, easiest problem, but it's one of those kind of things where, like, if you just drop your ball for just a second, that's when the truck hits you.
Yeah, and that means that there is no communication. And so you say, well, why don't I get a better error message? Well, because you have no communication. Okay. Anyway,
Yep.
Rob, that we spoke with earlier in our
Oh, yes,
shows,
yes,
is
Rob.
a big guy on this. Yeah, Cloud 2030 can't. If you're not going to come listen to us, go there and listen to them.
I gotta click on this. Join us. Ooh,
Yeah.
join us. I shall. Oh, okay. Continue. Hey, first, create an account. So this is really easy. I'm going to create an account because this is the first time I'm actually doing it. Hey, I get to demonstrate actually using it here. All right. Let's see. What's this? It wants a photo? Really?
Yeah, if you got one, if you want one,
Okay. Let me see if I got a photo ready to go over here in my pictures. Can I be a kitty or do I have to be real?
you can be whatever you
All
want
right.
to
Let me
be.
put one of my old ones here for now. There we go. That looks
Kind
cool.
of circle it. Oh, that looks great. That's
All
good.
right. And now who do I should do?
Good
Should
prop.
I continue with Apple? No, then I have to give crazy pin codes. Continue with LinkedIn? That's actually a good idea. Or Google.
Microsoft. Yeah, LinkedIn is Microsoft now.
Mike, okay, so let's do that. And my
Yeah.
LinkedIn, of course, I don't.
Talk about we'll talk about the LinkedIn
I'll,
Microsoft thing a little bit later when we
yes. Oh, yes.
when we
That's
talk about.
another link. We have another link on that one. So let's get it. Latest activity.
Yeah.
Hey, check it out. Hey, I got a check mark. Hey, that icon looks familiar. You guys are using the same icon set. Hey,
And look, it's got
it's me. It
a
remembers
different
me from
face
LinkedIn.
for you.
That's my LinkedIn face.
That's your LinkedIn
That's
picture.
right. I
Yeah.
have the hat. Well, actually, that's a Greek sailor's hat. This is my French barge hat. So it's been a while since my Key West days. You know.
Yeah. So check over on the left under events. That's where you're going to find the different topics on the different shows. Tuesday, Thursdays are hot days. Once a month.
I'm maybe Skynet, or shall we call him her uh,
Them,
Teen
they
Skynet? Him, her, them. Yes, them.
or they. Yeah.
Him, her, them. Actually, it's them in this case. The collective.
Them. Yeah.
Teen Skynet. You remember those shows? Remember back in the 70s, they used to have like the a baby Flintstones or baby Scooby Doo and all that stuff, and then all of a sudden they had teen this, teen that, right? Because they wanted to catch those kids that were growing up from the toddler level into like elementary school, and then they made them teen stuff to try to keep them going. And so that's what it was.
Right, but they skip all that middle part.
Oh yeah, that's true.
I mean,
Ah, it's not.
you're in that middle part now.
Indeed, I am the middle
Congratulations.
part. Here we go. Check it out. And now I'm into discussion. Check it out. Love the cloud. Share us with your friends. All right, I'm in, sir. All right.
Cool.
Let's see. Okay, let's look for another topic. Another topic on this
Right.
set.
What do we have
Here,
next?
there we go. We have
Ooh,
docs at Microsoft.com.
back to an old goody goody.
An
Yeah,
FAQ.
if you've not got your Microsoft 365 developer, um,
What?
the
I hear an
E5
echo.
that
I
we
hear an
did
echo.
back in the day, this is how to get it. It's all of the information. I like the FAQ because it is a list of those frequently asked questions. What do you get? What do you have?
So
How do you keep it?
so typically,
The reason,
yeah, just so you typically what I do is when I always do this talk. I almost memorize it. I go aka.ms slash O365 dev program, which is the old MS link, and watch what it does. And it takes me straight to, guess what? Dev program. This is it, right? But what you've just showed us was
yes.
something cooler, actually. It's the what the heck am I doing when I go here? What am I getting into? How does it work? Look at all these.
How does it work? What all do I? One of the things that's down, and one of the reasons that I came here, in because it's been a while since I've
Uh-huh.
done that. I was
Yes.
logging in to see what new was there, and noticed that you can now, because of the recent acquisition, you can now link your developer account to your GitHub account,
Yes. That's right.
and it has a why would you want down there below, and you want to do that in order to show that you're continuing to. They 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 will cut you off on
Yes.
your E5 if
Hmm.
you don't use it.
So that's
So
the case. You got to use it. Now, for the folks that are like a regular, like maybe the BA type, the PM types, I tell them to come get this as well because when we're learning Power Platform with the so-called low code, we're not really a developer, but I'm trying to be productive, sort of thing. I
right,
recommend this for them for learning and all that stuff. The key of this for getting them renewed, because these are automatically renewed every 90 days, is to use
yes,
it. How do you use it? What if I never develop a program? Because I'm not a developer. I'm not creating any programs. You don't have to make a program. If you created some lists, if you configured your admins, if you loaded the Contoso accounts, if maybe you turned on the flow that says send me a list of all the latest stuff that's coming in the roadmap and all that stuff. If it
yeah.
looks busy, it's fine.
If you logged in,
Yes, if I logged
I
in.
mean if you pretty much like, so honestly, I don't have to worry about the renewal,
Yeah,
because I've connected mine through my Visual Studio
check it out.
subscription
There it is. See?
that I have. Yeah. And if you do have a Visual Studio subscription, you get one of these developer accounts kind of as one of the benefits, and it's not on the renewal basis. But even if you don't, you can get one of these for free. It's it's got it's got a lot of really really good tools for you to play with in, in a
Oh,
safe
yep.
uh, companies.
I think you're cutting off a little bit. The network is suddenly deciding to be a little bit funny. Say something again, Mr. Lair.
All right,
Yep, you're good.
back am I better?
Yes, it's
Yeah, I
better.
apologize. I'm actually in Round Rock, Texas. So I'm in a hotel room. That's why you have the grass in the background,
So somebody turned on Showtime or something, and then you lost your connection for a little bit. That's
right?
now I'm dating myself.
It's
Showtime, they're
time.
probably not a streaming
It's time
service.
to Paramount Plus.
Paramount
No,
Plus, thank you,
HBO.
thank you. HBO
HBO.
Max.
HBO Plus. HBO
Yes,
Max. That's it.
we're,
It has the Showtime movies,
there we go.
I think.
All
So
right. Or they decided to pay Premiere, and please pay, because these artists they work really hard. I know we're streaming, but pay. All right. Hey, so I'm looking at this over here. As you know, I've been talking about this for a long time. Everyone who's been watching this show, and every so often I'll bring this one back. But Larry basically just gave us a reminder of the power of the dev platform and the new features that are in there. You cannot not do without this. Hey, here's the thing. Say I don't care anything about Office or SharePoint or none of that. I don't give a hoot about it. Well, guess what? Here's the big thing. Behind M365 is something called the graph, this big, humongous in the cloud Baby Skynet is my kid feature for data. So if you want to do like Azure work and you're looking for like sample data or something that works at enterprise scalar levels, talk to that thing and you will have your
Right.
sample. And by the way, if you do talk to it, you don't have to like you don't have to create accounts or anything like that. That's all it needs to say, yes, you're doing developer work. You are blessed. There is an inverse, by the way, Larry. There is an inverse. They don't tell you over here. They might not say it in the fact. I haven't looked at this one recently
Mhm.
because this looks like it's updated. Oh, very nice. But actually, speaking of Baby Skynet, there is some AI that can tell if you're using it for actual business. Some people might think I have 25 users. I have a small company. You know, there's
I've
only
got
20 people in it. I got a few
yeah.
consultants. Let's use it like the real thing. They will know because they have metrics that basically predict, and it's very funny. They have metrics that they predict is like this looks like someone actually working. There's no way this is automated. There's no automated process making stuff. There's no development going on. There is no way the physical individual can be working on this here and there. Or God forbid, you're like maybe you're trying to share with your offshore somewhere, and you're trying this over here. It's
Right.
like aha, they will find you, and they will turn you off.
Right.
Just warning.
Now, yes, it's reasonable to have test users come in and test your program. It's not reasonable to use it for your business, your daily business. That's not fair.
Indeed.
Okay.
All right.
Now,
So, are
that's
we?
cool.
And that's it. Shall we look at the next thing, or is there anything
Yeah,
else on this
that's
one?
now that's cool,
Uh,
but this next one is is the next level of cool.
uh, oh yes, the 365
This
Cloud PC. I had a feeling you would love this one. I knew when I saw this one, inspired. We were talking about this. Like, oh, I guess Larry's going to go.
I'm all in. I I want to be able to use August
Yes.
2nd. So it's coming within a week.
On Monday.
Um,
Monday. Monday.
Monday.
Monday.
Sign
The,
signed up. If you scroll up just a little bit,
the,
there is
the Scrum
a
Master Fun Day. Monday.
webinar.
Monday. Yes, I see that.
There's a webinar at 6 a.m.
Start streaming. Register now.
Yeah, it's 8
Oh,
o'clock Central. It'll be okay for you.
oh yes. I'll put it in.
Central time now.
If my client doesn't put in a meeting for me, I will go ahead and do this. Ah, phone. Let's put in my phone. Du- 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 du. Du- 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 du-
Job
du- du-
role.
du- du-
It's
du- du-
not a.
Giant company. I'm not a robot. No, don't share my information because I used my other email for that. I'm in. I'll see you there.
You're there.
Meanwhile, back at
So
the ranch.
back at the ranch. No, this is cool. So really, Microsoft's been a little late getting. I think a little late getting to this game. Um, this is different than just standing up a VM and remote desktoping into
This
it.
is not a
And that's the
Citrix
key.
thingy. This is a. Is it like, or it's like a VDI?
It's it's more like a Citrix thing. Yes, it's more like a VDI.
Okay,
So
got it.
underneath the covers, it's Azure VDI.
VDI Virtual
Um,
Desktop, by the way, interface.
right. And 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 so it makes really efficient of resources, but it does have limitations. It this a lot of this is a rebrand. It is available. It looks amazing. Um, yes.
Windows
So
in the
I
cloud.
will be playing with this. I will be putting um, I will be putting Visual Studio on it and running it around.
So you know
Uh,
what? Here's where this comes into play. You want to spin up a quick development team with a development environment all ready to go. And I know we did infrastructure as code. This is one step higher than that. We could like
right.
say using the infrastructure code, we can set up all devs and all that stuff. But imagine just in just a package, poof, you have your environment, poof, there.
Exactly.
There is no mucking about waiting. Okay, I just got to run this script or whatever. Oh yeah, it works really great. I mean, we used to talk about the joys of chocolatey for some stuff. You know, it's like, well, here's the thing. You got the system and it actually works now because here's the thing. Chocolatey was good back in the day before Microsoft had something like this. You needed
Yes.
tools like Chocolatey, the infrastructure as code pieces, those were critical. Now they're not as important, but then now you don't have to work with that kind of tool for scale, because now you can handle this stuff at scale. Now you can use those tools for the good stuff, which is like, I just want package X, and that's only need package X for package purpose. Don't give me an entire environment just because you want to give me package X. Right now,
And
that's for
see,
Chocolatey.
the interesting part to me, if you've got developers, you have developers, but not all developers are equal. Some of
Mm-hmm.
them are doing front end, and they're in code, Microsoft code, and they're not doing a lot of memory intensive things. They don't
Right.
need that big a machine. But if you've got someone that's doing a lot of internal work and really large data sets on a local database, they might need a lot of RAM. With this,
Uh-huh.
it's virtual. You can turn their machine up and turn their machine down depending on their needs. So it's hard to ship them a new laptop every time they need a little bit more RAM, a little bit more hard drive
And
space.
at traditional VMs, it's also messy. To come down, reconnect, do all that stuff. Maybe it doesn't work. Maybe it does. You want to make a copy. Oh, we need disk space to put that copy of that VM image here and there. Move things about. In this particular case, again, it's taken care of for you.
Right.
Well, that was the
It's
reason why people
just not.
did Citrix and those other systems. The reason why, like, those kind of systems stuck around, even that they were created quite some time ago, frankly, but
Mhm.
they're around still because that need has always still been there. And this is, you're right, Microsoft now recognizing that, this should be native. And
Fully
sure.
managed. I mean, it is the place that I want to put my developers on my next engagement. So, I
Nice.
mean,
All right.
right now,
Yes.
um, I'm starting an engagement the end of
Uh,
August, and we have two people early in a
right.
sprint zero,
Mm-hmm.
ship them machines. And so one of the reasons that I'm all in on this is I want to avoid having to ship machines out for 16 developers.
So,
That's
yeah.
just
Even though even last year, I still was wondering, why do we still have to do the hardware hard way of doing it? But they made it hard. Everyone's like wants to maintain their security posture with stuff saying, but this is secure, and then you have to tell them, it's like,
exactly.
it's not really that more secure than the other one. You could make them equally secure, for that matter. It's whether or not you want to have it to that level. In this case, you're making it's secure, yes, but you're now inconveniencing, literally for no reason, certain folks in the particular technology you chose. It's like, well, then you just give them a whole laptop. They'll have all the power they have. But then they get the laptop. It's like, well, wait a minute. They don't have the power because you didn't still give them the access that they needed. So they're back in the same boat as the same VDI person. It's like, well, your policy that you apply to the VDI, it's a policy that, guess what, will apply to your laptop as well, because a policy, right, in Microsoft, in Active Directory terms, is a policy. I really have no hoot or care about what the device is. I'm going to apply policy. Are you a workstation? Yes. Do you have one of your users? Yes. Are you in this OU group? Whatever. Yes. Apply. Wait a minute. What about for the people that are VDI versus laptop? The laptop's supposed to have more freedom. Well, then why did you give them the policy? Because they're all in this group. Oh, and
Ooh,
now
yeah,
they've created a problem for themselves. Right? So
true.
you're right. You want to minimize, you want to mitigate, and you want to minimize that stuff.
Yeah. And
Uh,
I mean, it's kind of funny that I'm here in Round Rock, and
right.
we talked about Rob earlier. I actually worked for Dell here doing software independent hardware independent software images that would get
Ah,
applied as, machines were coming out of the factory, so that you could ship someone a machine with the OS and all of the applications already installed.
that's right.
This is and that's patented like weird. It
Wow.
was not
You're in the
as
home of the pre-built,
straightforward.
the
Yeah,
pre-package.
it's not as straightforward as we would hope it would be. It was
So
always ugly and mean
was it
underneath.
Dell or
But
was
this
it
is the same.
Compaq? Was it Compaq originally?
No, it was Dell.
It was Dell
So
that did come up with it,
yeah,
because I know Compaq was in the area.
so Dell had a product called Image Direct that would allow you
That's
to
right.
install. applications on a virtual OS image,
Hmm.
and you could order it on desktops or laptops or any of a wide variety of
Right.
systems, and the same OS image would be running on all of them. And
Wow.
that was back in, I'll date myself, XP and Vista days before
Whoa.
the before the
Early,
drivers
early in
were
the century. Early in the century.
like when you had to
Whoa.
write the drivers in crayon on the back of the no, but
Actually,
but
when you had to recompile the drivers every time there was a little change, you had to literally had to recompile them.
yes,
Oh, those
right.
were the
When
days.
well, and it was important. It was important at that time because parts that were going into all of the systems were exactly the same. They were
Right.
all the same. Make little adjustments as it goes.
Indeed.
So yes, that's why sometimes drivers that you think are supposed to work don't always work. It's because you've got a different version of the hardware. Okay. Anyway,
Last one.
back to our list, to the big, the
To
bad
baby Skynet over
baby
here. Hold on a
Skynet.
second. Would you like to participate? No, not right now.
Uh,
I've done this one already, but yes, this is Viva, Viva la Viva. Hey, you're closer
Viva,
to the border
Viva the
than I
cloud.
am, so you can say Viva
Viva the cloud.
la Viva.
So I mean, this is Teams as a platform. That's really what it comes down to. Um,
Interesting. I like that analogy. I will use it. Proceed.
where we in the past, the big platform that Microsoft had, it had really two that I think took off. Right, Windows, the operating system. SharePoint is also another framework or platform that is capable of doing a lot of different things. This is really turning the Teams experience into that same type of platform experience so that you're integrating other things into Teams. And Teams is a way that you're going to surface this other information. And I mentioned LinkedIn earlier,
Yep.
that I was going to kind of link to this
Yes.
later piece, because one of the things that Viva has built into it is a way for you to um, this is all about your customer, excuse me, not your customer, your employee experience.
Right.
And so, you know, hey, you and I would do courses internally for our organization, and
Hmm.
you're still doing courses internally for your organization.
Yes.
LinkedIn Learning is built into this Microsoft Viva. And so there's a
Correct.
way for you to surface your courses and surface all of the learning materials directly within Teams.
That's under Viva Learning, of course. By
Viva
the way,
Learn.
there's different Viva. There's Viva Topics. This is the one everyone will get a Viva Topics. That's sort of like the current, probably to be built in. They might be charging a little bit extra for it, a little bit, but it's going to be part of the tenant. Viva Connections, that's a product. Viva Learning, that's what Larry's talking about. And actually, have you seen Viva Insights yet?
Let's no. Show me Viva Insights.
Viva Insights. I wonder if I can make it work on my Teams over here. Let's go ahead and I'm going to bring up Teams just for a moment.
Hmm.
And I'm going to see if I have Insights on here. All right, so I'm going to go in here and I'm going to not look for a call. I want to add an app. Here we go. I'm going to look for
I see
Insights.
it.
Oh, you saw it? Hold on a
Yeah,
second.
I saw it. It was one of your
It went really quick.
yeah. Cleared off. There it
In
is.
fact, there it is. It's ready to go.
Yeah.
That's why. Okay, let's bring in Insights. I'm going to move it up here. So let's see what Viva Insights is all about.
It's all
Insights
about
you get,
Skynet.
yeah. So you might have seen already, like some people have seen in their emails, sometimes it'll say, hey, how was your day? Did you do this? Cortana and all that stuff. And here we go, Insights for you. Check it out. Click on next. Never miss an update. Okay, got it. All right. It basically tracks how you're feeling. It says, keep going. You got a great afternoon going. You have a headspace checker. By the way, they changed this. Recently, it was like a 1 minute, just listen to spa music and then get your mind all relaxed. I like that better than this 10-minute one, which is, by the way, some English guy saying, lecturing you about how you should be relaxing. I mean, thanks for the advice, but every day hearing the same thing, can I just have the breathe in, breathe out part and skip all that stuff? But here, look at this. Send praise to your colleagues and everything else. This is in my dev tenant. Well, not my dev tenant. This is actually my user group tenant. So I actually have people over here. It's busier, of course, in my other area. I can go ahead and do a reflection. So here's my reflection. Oh, look at that. I'm glad you're doing okay. And look at my history over here. I wonder if I have any history. Well, no, this is the first time I actually took something. Actually, this is the first time I turned it on this tenant. All right, so from now on, it's going to say, hey, select the days that you want a reflection reminder. In this particular case, every day I could take it out. I could say what time of day I wanted to reflect on me. I wanted to reflect on me at 5 p.m. There we go. Set that reminder, and you're done.
Well, good. Four is
Four
good.
is good. Four.
Yeah.
Well, in this particular case, at four, I'm doing the other side,
Oh,
so I'm not going to be on this machine. At five is when I'm about to do user group and go home. So I'm just going to say Viva Insights is going to now track me on both places. Baby Skynet will know wherever I live. All right, stay connected. Here we go. It basically says, okay, I don't have any pin collaborators, but this will get full. As it starts learning about you, it will start putting information over here. You remember that we talked to a while ago to Joel Olson about syntax and all that stuff?
yes.
Remember that power? Under the covers is that happening over here.
Yeah.
Of course, protect time. Remember this one? Set your focus times and everything else. By the way, when you set your focus time, it is ultimate, right? You don't want someone to disturb you and you really want that time to yourself. Focus time, it's the most powerful thing. It
Mhm.
really, really
And,
blocks the total
and it's
time.
across. I was going to say it's across all of the apps,
That's
right?
right.
And you can. It's
Check it out.
just it's different. Yeah.
All right. So what else you can do? You can send praise to your colleagues, protect your time. You can set up your to-do tasks and everything else, and it
Right.
reminds you. And then at the end of the day, it'll say, "Hey, how did you do? Is this task done? Great." And say, "Hey, keep at it." And it gives you like little pep talks and everything else. Like I say, Baby Skynet's really wanting to take care of you. Is this helpful? I can say, "Yes, I like this. This is helpful." Give us your feedback. Go ahead. I'm just going to say yes, it's helpful, and not giving them any text. But yes, so that's insights. Viva.
I like it. And see, it's not that it is really doing a whole lot.
Nope.
Okay, let's be honest. It's putting some information that was really already out there into a new
Yes.
package and
Yes.
making it convenient for you because it's all
Indeed.
and sometimes though that's the value that you need. And just being able to know that you know your to-do list is all going to be consolidated into this one place. That
Oh,
consolidation
look,
is
they have a
powerful.
new Headspace thing. It's 5 minutes. Because remember that earlier you saw
Oh,
10
it
minutes?
was 10.
Oh, they changed
Yes.
it. Oh, hold on. Let me see if I have my sound over here. I'm going to turn on sound. Include system
Nice.
sound. Let's see if this works.
And what's great too is that, you know,
Here we go.
my Android phone has Teams on it.
Can you hear this?
Yes, it can.
All right. So here's the thing. I did submit my feedback and said 10 minutes is too long. I can't wait for him to lecture me on the same topic every day. He's still lecturing, though. Let's find out if he gets into the business sooner. Let's find out. Here we go. He's still lecturing. Oh, here we go. Let's see. Oh,
Distract.
yes. Hear that? I missed the spa music though. I gotta have my spa music. Okay, we're falling asleep now. Gentle. There. Is he quiet? Is he still there? Oh, no, he's still there.
There you go.
All right, there we go. Okay, so we're going to stop. And
All
it's,
right.
is this helpful? I'm simply going to say no. It's still too long. Too long. Oh, and submit the feedback. There we go. But that's okay. They'll get it. They'll get it figured out. By the way, Headspace. This is a company, right? That produces
Right.
this. This is not. I don't believe this is Microsoft. I believe this is a one of the partner companies. They might be the next acquisition, but I do believe they're separate.
So, Ralph, one thing to do, look down there, more mindful exercises. You might be able to pick a different one.
Oh, so let's see if it had the 1 minute guy. Where's the 1 minute guy? I don't see him here anymore.
There you go.
Body scan. I have focus. So there's a focus one.
3 minutes. Yeah.
So that's the closest one. Let me see. Let me check this body scan. This sounds actually very intrusive, but let's find out. So we gotta go. Here we go. Body scan. Let's. There we go. Okay. Are you following, Larry? Okay.
There we go.
All right. Well, okay. So that one at least gets to the business right away of relaxing you. So that was a
Starts
good
you up.
question. So I see that over here. If but I had to choose. Look at this. 2 hours. What? Who's got two
Music.
hours?
Focus music.
Where's it?
This
Where's
is
it?
what you play in your background.
Oh, Otto. Of course, that's what I got YouTube for. But hey, no problem. Great
Yeah.
idea. Okay, but I'm missing the 1 minute one. They had a 1 minute. It was like you could hear it breathing in, and it would tell you in the text, breathe in, breathe out. And it was a machine that went. Maybe some people complained it sounded too much like that's my father or something, but whatever it was, they took it away, and I'm sad, and I wish it was still here. But here, be kind to your mind, learn more. Let's follow it. And okay, let's go to Headspace. Maybe we can make a
Nice.
recommendation straight to Headspace. Check it out. And of course, you can get more Headspace. Hey, we're giving Headspace, and there's a free trial. Hey. All right.
Free is always good.
Someone's getting some free advertising over here, but don't worry about it. They did not pay us. We just discovered that we can actually deep dive into the deep meditation.
There you go.
All right. So, on that note, where we have now, just don't you feel less stressful just listening to that there,
I do.
Larry?
Yes.
Just in time for the weekend.
Just in time for the weekend. I've got big plans for the weekend.
Oh, really?
Yes. I'm going to be playing video games in a hotel room.
Oh, well, you get to do that. Me, I have to prepare because I'm going to be traveling next week. So like you worked but you're able to travel, but just like because we're all in the cloud anyway right now,
Right.
you're able to work at your location. So the
Yes.
only problem is that time between getting here and there. But once you're there, you're good and you're
Yes.
set. Same thing with me. I have the day to travel. I'm going to the West Coast from the middle coast, I guess. And I'm going to work from there. I get to have the high speed internet and do all the good stuff. But I'm effectively working while everyone else go have fun. In the evening, I get to play. There's a pool, so that's cool.
Nice.
I get to do that, but I don't get to do that during the day. But now maybe I'll use the longer version of this. Maybe if they have like the San Jose version of this, I'll put that on. Where's the San
So
Jose version?
I will say that I drove here, right? We
You
drove.
did. Oh,
I
that's
did.
right.
I did drive, and it's the first time I've driven in over 4 years.
That
And
long, but you driven a little bit once in a
no,
while,
no,
right?
no, no, no. We
Oh
had no
my God.
car. We
Holy
we moved to
smokes.
New York, sold the car, and so it was over 4 years since I'd driven. Had no problems, of course, but we did take it a 3-day trip from New York to Austin.
Sure.
Not gonna do a marathon, 24-hour drive. 23 hours and 30 minutes, I think was the
Right. So you took your time a little bit,
took
right?
our time. We're gonna do the same going back, and should be back in New York on the August 9th.
Yeah. I mean,
Back
I'd
on
love to
Monday.
do that to California. I don't have the PTOs that like I used to have anymore. But right
Hmm.
now it's like I just want to get there. Sooner I'm there, sooner I'm hooked up to find. Once I'm there, then I can make my slow day trip to Napa or someplace. Just saying.
Yeah.
The
We'll just
slow.
be safe. Leave really, really early. I always like leaving, 3 in the morning because there's
Right.
nobody on the road. And the morning, the sun comes up and everything's beautiful.
That's right. Were you
It's really
surprised it wasn't like Mad Max out there when you got out there? You haven't been out there in the world, and when you open, all of a sudden, like the light,
ah,
you're like,
the light.
oh, the
Oh, it's
light,
awful.
oh, oh, wow, it's
Yeah.
sunlight.
No, it was actually a fairly pleasant drive. Not as many people on the road as I was expecting, but yeah.
Well, there we go. Hey, so folks, thanks
All right.
for catching up with us. We had some great cloud topics today. Next Friday, I will try to be from my remote location. Well, I'm not sure. You're probably going to be back at your regular location by that time. By
Yes,
next
sir.
Friday, maybe? Okay, then guess what? We'll flip it. And now that this is working, all right, my issue though is I probably won't have all these beautiful screens to make this
No, I'm
happen.
sorry. you're right. We're not leaving until Saturday, so I'll still be here. We'll both be remote.
We'll both be remote. So this is going to be a
Be
very
cloud
interesting
free.
thing and try to make the one window work with it. Unless I can, maybe I'll ask for someone to borrow a little. Because I have friends, I have family in the area. Borrow. All I
Yeah.
need is just one extra monitor, so stuff can just be there. Because like right now, my main monitor, oddly enough, I'm not using it. So I know right now I know I can get away with this with two monitors. I have one over here where my OBS is going and everything else, and of course we're looking at Headspace. Oh, Headspace. Oh, let me show
Don't
Headspace. There
don't
we go.
don't forget
Oh,
your iPad.
my iPad. I will bring my iPad.
So use your
I gotta bring my
iPad as
iPad.
a second monitor.
Dude, you're right. It can
There are
be a
some
second monitor.
there are programs for that,
Indeed.
and
Oh, hey, so send me
yeah.
some links if you got something quickly on that if you have a chance. But I think I will follow it up. You know what actually is another monitor for me? What else is a monitor? And I don't have it right here. Oh yes, you know what else is a monitor or a camera?
There you go.
This can be my camera. I can join the Teams meeting on this. In fact, I can add one more view of me. I can join my meeting now and turn on the
Oh
video,
no
get
no
the
no.
NDI on, and I can be like in five
We
places
don't
going.
no we don't need another view of you. It's okay.
All right, so just a
Just
thought.
like we don't need another view of me.
So
It's
I'm just
fine.
thinking if that works for that, that'll work for this as well. It's like, oh my gosh,
That'd be nice. Yeah.
interesting. Okay, too many possibilities over here. All right,
All right.
folks, it's been wonderful. Okay, we have our routine to do right after we save our show, our live show. We're going to let it run a little bit just to have the spa music afterwards, just like the meditation. You get to meditate after the show and withdraw from the Ralph and Larry this afterwards. All right, Larry,
Everyone
say
enjoyed it.
bye.
Bye bye.
Take care.